It happened silently. Not on the battlefield, but in a series of encrypted diplomatic cables. There was no formal declaration of war. There was something much worse. An ultimatum. Welcome to Tech Briefed, where we show you the wars fought behind the headlines. Just hours ago, a unified coalition of nearly 200 countries, from major powers to small developing nations, delivered a coordinated message to the Trump administration. The message was simple: we are done. Done with the US dollar being the world's reserve currency. Done with the threat of sanctions. Done with American financial dominance. Inside the White House, there is chaos. President Trump, the man who promised to make America strong again, is now facing the single greatest challenge to American power since the Cold War. This isn't about trade deals anymore. This isn't about tariffs. This is about the very foundation of the American empire crumbling in real time. The world has just called America's bluff. And the panic in Washington is palpable. In this special report, we will reveal the secret alliance that made this happen, the new global threat that is emerging to replace the dollar, and the desperate, dangerous move Trump is about to make next. So what does it actually mean to reject the dollar? For the past 50 years, the world has operated on a single system. A system where oil, gas, and all major commodities were priced and traded in US dollars. This petrodollar system forced every country on Earth to hold massive reserves of dollars, giving the United States unprecedented global power. That system is now dead. The coalition's plan is a surgical strike at its heart. Starting next month, major oil producers in the Middle East will begin accepting payments in a new basket of currencies. Brazil will sell its agricultural products to China for yuan. Russia and India will trade in rubles and rupees. It's a global, coordinated exodus. Imagine a map of the world, for decades colored in the green of the US dollar. Now, watch it change. One country after another flips, adopting new colors, new alliances, new financial systems. This isn't just a financial shift, it's a geopolitical earthquake. It's the world literally redrawing the map of power, and on this new map, America is no longer at the center, and the world is not backing down. Trump's ultimatum, designed to shock and awe, has had the opposite effect. It has been met with defiance. The European Union, initially hesitant to challenge the dollar, has now publicly condemned the universal loyalty tariff as economic blackmail and is accelerating its own plans to trade more in euros. Major developing powers like India and Brazil, who felt bullied by the US for years, now see this as a moment of liberation. They have publicly reaffirmed their commitment to the new BRICS currency system. Even traditional US allies in Asia, like South Korea and Japan, are quietly opening up new trade channels with China, realizing that their economic future can no longer be solely dependent on an increasingly erratic and protectionist America. Trump played his final card, believing it was an ace. But it turns out it was a joker. The world has seen his bluff, and they are not folding. They are raising the stakes, leaving the United States increasingly isolated on the world stage. For global investors, this is the ultimate nightmare scenario. The entire financial system as we know it is on the verge of a historic reset. The bedrock of all global finance for the past 80 years, the US dollar and the perceived safety of US Treasury bonds, is now cracking. This creates unprecedented volatility and risk. What happens to the stock market when the cost of borrowing skyrockets? Where do you put your money when the world's safest asset is no longer safe? Investors are now scrambling for alternatives. The price of gold has surged to all-time highs as a traditional safe haven. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are seeing a massive influx of capital from those seeking a decentralized asset outside of any government's control. And a new, high-risk, high-reward speculation has begun, trying to invest in the new commodity-backed unit currency. We are entering a period of financial chaos not seen since the 1930s. The old rulebook has been thrown out, and every investor on the planet is now forced to make a bet on who will win this new war of currencies. The great rejection of the dollar has done more than just threaten the US economy. It has exposed a fundamental truth. The American empire, for the last 50 years, was not held up by its military might or its cultural influence alone. It was held up by its control of the world's financial plumbing. That control is now gone. President Trump's panic is the panic of an emperor who has suddenly realized he has no clothes. The threats and tariffs are the desperate attempts to force the world to pretend it cannot see the truth. But the world has moved on. A new, multipolar global order is being born in this chaos, and it may no longer have America at its center. The coming months will be a period of immense instability and danger, but also of opportunity. A new system is being built. The question is, who will write the rules this time? To understand the forces shaping this new world, subscribe to Tech Briefed. We are committed to decoding these power plays, so you can